What's good? What is good, everybody? I appreciate you checking in. Victory week. That's what we're sitting in.
Yes, sir.
It's victory week all week, and you gotta love it. You gotta make sure you soak this thing in, man. I got my guys here with me. I got Chris over the Protect the Shield podcast. I got the Severe Raider. I'm gonna swap you guys around. Make sure you match up your logos. We're riding. We are soaking up this victory week. One thing I want to say, as everybody's rolling in, I appreciate everybody that was chilling with us Sunday night because that was a long one. I'll tell you right now, Chris was a trooper being on the East Coast. Everybody's going to hear it in his voice. But I'll tell you right now, that was a long one. But having Stu Schwager come through and join us was you couldn't think of a better situation off of a win like the Ravens. So, but yes, victory week. We're loving it. Chris, how you feeling, man?
Good, man. Good. Voice a little shot, but it's all good. But yeah, shout out to Stu. Stu even got up, moved the chair out the way, got in 3-point stance a couple times.
Exactly.
Stu was getting busy, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Man.
Stu, man.
Stu was like our special teams coordinator when he was at the press conference.
Yeah.
Right?
I love that.
He was all about it. You were right, man. He was getting up. He was showing us everything. He was showing us the technique and everything. You gotta love him, man. So Severe, man, what's going on? How you feeling?
Oh man, feeling great, man. Feeling great after that good W, man. I
got the red hat on.
Man, I'm excited. Got the red hat on, man. This is for certain people that still want to down talk a certain player. We know who it is, and we know who that player is.
We definitely need some time for that. We need a little segment to talk to them.
100%. Hey, you just let me know when they roll through, because whoever you eyeballing, Severe.
They've been hiding.
No,
we might not address it. No, but hey, I appreciate everybody rolling through the chat. My 2 cents. I appreciate you pulling up. Gunsmoke. I appreciate you rolling through. Raider Ryan, you're always coming through. Robert Pena, I appreciate you rolling up. And we got Transplant in the building, the one, the only, rocking the Guillotine Fantasy League. I appreciate you rolling through. Everybody in the building, make sure you hit that like button wherever you're at. Make sure you subscribe. Again, you got myself, Real Talk Raider Nation, aka 805 Raider. You got Chris of the Protect Your Show podcast, as well as the Severe Raider, rocking the shirt, man. Severe, I see the shirt. Doing over there.
Man, I'm trying to be like Chris, man. Chris got hats and all kind of. Chris got all kind of stuff, man. Chris got press on protective shield nails and stuff.
I like it.
for the 304s, man. They can represent what they out there.
With the press on there.
So I've been hanging out a little bit with all the super fans and everything, right? And so I'm hearing a new thing is like these patches. Everybody's getting patches. So Chris, you got any patches yet?
Man, I don't, and I told myself I'll never do it, but why not? I'm about to get some patches pretty soon, because actually one of my I got a new sponsor, man, and he actually makes fire patches, so I'm definitely
really?
Yeah, so
hell yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna tap y'all in. I'm gonna tap y'all in, man. Tell them I sent y'all. I got it.
I'm about to say, rundown. I appreciate you rolling through, man.
Run down.
Good, my guy. Run down.
So let's do this, man. Hey, we're gonna go into the stats of the game real quick. Just go over it. We tried to get all deep into it when we went live on Sunday, but again, Stu Schwager, he rolled up. He wanted to pull through, so we can get to dive too deep into it. So we'll pull it up, and we're gonna talk a little bit about what we did well and what we need to improve on, and then we'll talk about our upcoming matchup a little bit real quick about the news that we just got. I think it was on Monday. We're gonna be facing a new quarterback. Not the Bryce Young that we thought. So we'll touch on that for just a second. But then one thing that we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna pull up some plays from the Ravens game. We're gonna kind of break those down, right? I'm gonna bring up some plays from the defense, from the offense, our touchdown, some of the plays that Minshew was making. That was the difference. And I think one concern that might pop up, which is our offensive line play. And so we're going to take a look at that. So we're going to bring up some plays on the screen, and we're going to kind of break that down for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And at the end of the video, one thing we couldn't get to, again, because Stu rolled up and joined us, we're going to take a look at some of our games coming up and just how important this win is going to be based on our next few opponents after them. So before we kind of get into the stats, Nazo, I appreciate you rolling up, man. We got more people trickling through into the building. Raider Paul rolling through. Mark, I appreciate you pulling up. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at just the game stats real quick, right? It was a tale of two halves when it came to the offense. Offense came out real flat. Second half, we woke up. We woke up. Oh, and the one thing I think we all can agree on, I think we did on Sunday, was that we're dedicating ourselves to that passing game. You know, we're going to pick some clips, and we're just going to show just really how struggling we are on this offensive line. And we'll talk a little bit how do we think we address it moving forward. But looking at the stats, you got Gardner Minshew, 30 of 38. It's crazy that he 38 yards, 270 or 38 passes, 38 attempts, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, one interception. But one thing that we can say is, as the game went on, he did extremely well. What are your guys' thoughts on Gardner Minshew and just his overall play on Sunday? Chris, I'll throw it to you first.
Yeah, for me with Gardner, and one of the reasons that I liked him going into it is he doesn't really get rattled. I mean, of course, you know, he'll make mistakes, but you know, Gardner's not the type that's just going to lay down. And I think the fact that once I saw Max kind of embrace him with like some tough love, I mean, who knows how some other quarterbacks may take that. I don't know exactly what he said, but I know it was encouraging, but he probably was, you know, saying it very spirited and kind of raised his voice. You know, some quarterbacks may have crumbled, but you could tell that that's the kind of lift and encouragement Gardner needs. And that just lets us know that, you know, if the crowd gets behind him, the fans get behind him, that's the kind of stuff that gets him going. He gets, and he's streaky. So he's kind of like how Baker gets, like Baker Mayfield gets when he starts getting going. Yeah. And keep in mind, he did this. The stat line's not bad, but he did this with an offensive line that played terrible. I know we're going to show some plays, you know, a running game that was obsolete. I'm not going to say the running backs played terrible because everything starts up front, but I love what I saw out of Gardner. He extended plays, made the right decision, had one bad interception. He brushed it off and kept it moving.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Severe, I'm going to ask you the same question, but, you know, chat, let us know what do you think Max Crosby actually said to him? Because my only assumption, and obviously it's just off of body language and stuff, but I'm sitting there, to me, I feel like he said, hey, you be you. You keep being you. You keep moving. We got you.
We got you.
You know, we're going to come out. We're going to ball. The defense, we're going to do our thing. You keep being you, and you ball. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a, hey, shake this thing off, like you said, Chris, shake it off, but you be you. We're going to ball. We got your back. Let's keep this thing moving. Yeah. So, Chow, what do you think? What do you think Max Crosby said to him? So, Severe, I'm gonna throw it to you again. What was your take on Gardner Minshew? Obviously, again, tale of two halves with the offense, but overall, what was your thoughts on Gardner Minshew?
I mean, given the circumstances, what more could you really ask from him, right? Given the circumstances, what more could you really ask from him? The offensive line that's overmatched. She sacked 5 times. I think he was hit. I think it was like 10 times or something crazy like that. Running game, you can't get the running game going. The ball game is in his hands, right? If we can't pass, then it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I mean, I think he played well, right? I still don't. I'm still. He had the one interception, and I looked at that play 20 times, and I'm still not 100% sure.
Don't know what he saw.
I don't know what he saw.
It was ugly. You can't sugarcoat that. It was ugly.
I don't know. I don't know if he expected Harrison to kind of like flatten out on that route and cross that guy's face toward the side. I don't know what it was, you know. But that was his main. You know, that was his really like the only major fault I saw. There was some meat left on the bone. I saw where it's a few occasions where he might have locked onto a guy and there might have been some opportunities elsewhere, but each of those times it was still a completion, still, you know, kept us ahead of schedule, and a few times still kept the chains moving. So like for what he was dealing with, I think he played extremely well.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you. Unfortunately, yeah, that interception was ugly. The only thing that it's so hard because he's still only a 6'1" quarterback. You know, you got 6'5", 6'6" linemen stacked in front of you with defensive linemen, all that. He may not even seen them. You know, that's the hard part. And so that's what you get when you have a quarterback that's unfortunately around 6'1". But again, ugly, no way to sugarcoat it. Again, Chad, everybody, I appreciate you rolling through. I see you, D Menace, coming through. Huey P, I appreciate you.
Can we talk about that comment, man?
Which one?
Or we can do it later. The one that you had up from my two. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like,
what? Like, it just because somebody else is also a leader, that doesn't take anything away from you being a leader as well, right? Like sometimes you need some external motivation. Sometimes after you felt like you let your team down, you need a guy to come on and say, hey, you know what? Flush it. You know, we got you on this drive. Come back out this next drive and make a play. And know what a true leader does in that situation? He makes it right. He goes out there,
which he did,
and he does what he needs to do. Right? What did he do? He led us on what 4 consecutive scoring drives against one of the better defenses in the NFL. So I just don't understand. Like unless he's the only person being the leader on the team, he's not a true leader. Like that doesn't make any sense. You want multiple leaders on your team, right? You have the guy that is your defensive leader, the leader of the entire team, who we know who the identity of the team. We want that guy to be. We want it to be a Max Crosby team. High effort, high intensity, in your face, 100 miles per hour all the time. And obviously, Minshew is the leader of the offense, and him and Devontae, they both have C's on their chest for a reason. So, I just don't get just because somebody else was a leader as well, that takes away from your leadership. That makes no sense.
It's unbelievable that we got fans saying this to me. It's absolutely unbelievable. So you're saying that someone like a like a Warren Sapp never was able to talk to another leader like Derek Brooks or John Lynch or whatever. I mean, there's multiple leaders on the team. People lead differently, but the thing is, they're encouraging each other. That's what leaders do to each other. There's going to be games that the defense is going to struggle. Guess who's going to go over there and go talk to the defense? Hey, do what you got to do. If I get the ball at the end of the game, I'm going to score. Like that. That's what leaders do. So it just baffles me. Like I don't understand. Shout out to my 2 cents. I mean, I respect him, and me and him, we always have good rapport for the most part. But I don't understand where some of this fan base gets off of saying some of this trash that they say. Like as fans, like what are we talking about? We just won on the road in Baltimore, something that our last. I mean, how many quarterbacks have not been able to do this? And then we're nitpicking on little stuff like this. Gardner Minshew took the encouragement and he left it out there on the field. That's all we can ask for him.
Yeah, I'm with you much sense. He kind of came back and said that the leader no one got in his face. And look, that's why there's
being a leader though. That's not being a leader. The most important part of being like before you can be a good leader, you have to learn how to listen and learn how to be a follower as well, right? But being a leader is not it's my way or the highway. That's not leadership. That's just dictatorship, right? As a leader, it's a collaborative effort. You have to be able to take criticism, take feedback, internalize it, and improve. That's part of being a leadership. Leading by example is one aspect of leadership. Like just saying it's my way or the highway, or I'm not listening to anything anybody else says, you're going to do it my way or not. Like that's the opposite of leadership. That's
Josh McDaniels.
That shows exactly. That shows insecurity. So to be able to say, hey, you know what? Dang, I did mess up. No, I appreciate you pointing it out to me. You know what? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do better. Like, that's a leader.
Yeah, and that's the thing is Gardner Minshew is Gardner Minshew, right? That you're comparing a leader to Max Crosby. Max Crosby is the epitome of what a leader is. And so, yeah you could prefer a leader, but just don't knock him for that. At this point, I mean, he came out and he showed out that second half. He's getting beat up constantly, and he keeps coming back. And so, Gardner Minshew is who he is, and we don't keep rocking on. I mean,
and the reason, literally, the what was it, the Saturday morning when AP told the world that Minshew was going to be the quarterback, one of the very first things he said was because of his leadership. He literally said that.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. Well, and
I think we lost Chris.
We want chat, just so you guys know, we are going to go on to some plays. We're going to check out some plays as well. Yeah, and I think Chris froze for just a second. Oh, there, you're back, Chris. You're great. You froze for just a second. All right, so let's get into the running game. Obviously, could not get it going on the running game. I think we all can kind of we'll pick up one play that Zamir White had in the game, so we'll kind of break that one down. But 9 carries, 24 yards, a long of 8, which was kind of towards the tail end. I mean, that is not. There's no other way to sugarcoat it. It's a bad running game. Obviously, our offensive line does not help in any way. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to those stats, but that's a hard thing to kind of swallow, to have a running game like that, considering the fact that we bailed from it. We completely threw it back and wanted nothing to do with it. So I think we lost severe as well. Chris, any thoughts you have on the running game and just kind of how it produced throughout the game?
I mean, the running game is doing what I expected them to do. With the poor offensive line, with no true running back one on the roster. I mean, this is kind of what I knew going into the season. So we just got to overcome it at the end of the day. That's why I wanted to be a pass first team. Hopefully this offensive line can get going, because we do need to have some sort of balance, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're going to talk about the offensive line here in just a second, but we'll kind of keep going through these stats. Don't want to go too deep into them, but obviously Brock Bowers. Let's all talk about Brock Bowers, because I mean this kid is now becoming potentially one of the premier tight ends in this league. To basically have 9 catches, 98 yards. I mean, almost scored, and we're actually going to go over that play that he caught deep from Gardner Minshew and almost scored.
It looked like he got in there. It literally looked like he got in there. Honestly, we could have.
I thought he was getting in.
Yeah, we could have challenged that.
It's hard to look at. I mean, we'll bring it up, but I mean, let's talk about Brock Bowers and just how this kid is developing. And I'm going to show 2 plays on the screen when we get to it. But Chris, what are your thoughts on Brock Bowers? Just 2 games in and already looking like it's just an absolute stud, living up to this first round draft pick.
Yeah, everybody know how I feel about Brock. The moment that we traded Waller away, in my mind, I was always like, we need a guy like Brock Bowers. But at that point, he was too young. It was just kind of like wishful thinking, like, man, I wish we had a dog like Brock Bowers. I watched a lot of Brock play in Georgia, because I actually like that other tight end that they had, Darnell Washington. So I like Brock.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, and that's why I liked him, because he was big and he was fast and athletic. I mean, he still has some polishing to do as a tight end, but I like Brock, man, and I knew he was going to be special, and that's why I wanted him on the field. I would talk to a lot of my boys from the Raider Syndicate. Shout out to my brothers, man. But I don't want him off the field. At the end of the day, to me, unless he's tired, like, there should not really be too many times that he comes off the field. Just like Kelsey don't come off the field, Brock Bowers don't need to be coming off the field.
Yeah, man. And Brock Bowers, I mean, he's gonna be an absolute stud. And those are the type of guys that opens up the run game, right? Yeah. Because linebackers have to come over and try to lock up on him. You have to account for him. And now you got to account for Devonta Adams, Jacoby Myers, and now Brock Bowers is in the picture. And so he's going to help open up that run game with the defenders having to key on him as the 3rd potential receiver out there. So, Severe, we just talked about it. We just wanted to jump to the receiving game, but man, Brock Bowers, absolute stud. Yeah. What's your thoughts on him up to this point?
But I don't know. Like, they didn't watch the week 1 game, because like
he was balling in
on 7 of those 9 receptions. Like, they just like left them like, okay, we're just gonna leave Brock Bowers alone. Like, bro, like he just killed week 1. Like, so you not going to like do something to try to like take him out of the game week 2? Like, you're just gonna let this guy cook you? Okay. And that's exactly what he did. So, he put the league on notice, and now going forward, they're going to have to account for Brock Bowers. And what that's going to do, I think that's going to open it up for other guys to kind of get busy, because it was times like two guys would run at Devontae, and it's like Brock Bowers is looking like he's looking like, okay, I play in the NFL like I am. I'm okay. Like I'll take this 10-yard gain. Like nobody's going to stop me on this return route to the sideline. I'm just going to be by myself. All right, I'll take this big game. Thank you. Like this guy was universally regarded as like one of the best offensive prospects in this draft. Like, you guys not going to cover him? It's like, okay, like, and what did he do? Killed you for dang near 100 yards. So I'm
gonna pull up a play on where he basically was gonna cut across the field, but then he came back to show his awareness of the field, and he did it against the Chargers too. So I'm gonna bring that play up, but we're gonna take a look at that as well. Nazo's got a question. And again, guys, because we got quite a few people in the chat, if you guys can hit hashtag Raiders and then give me your question, just so it catches my eye. My question for you guys is, after 4 or 5 games, if we don't see improvement in this O-line, where do we go from here? Maybe in our next one, guys, we can kind of take a look at the free agents, because there's really not a whole lot out there. Potentially, do you trade for somebody? That's, in my opinion, it's hard, because if we're losing games because of our offensive line, do you go out and trade for somebody knowing that it's not going to be necessarily a quick fix? An offensive lineman coming in brand new is going to take a few weeks to understand the system, learn the system. My hope is that JPJ can come in and help. That's my hope. We haven't seen him yet, and he's got enough time to kind of understand and learn this system. Yeah, it's going to take him a few games to get going, just understand the level of the NFL. But my only saving grace right now is that JPJ can come in and be that top draft pick that we picked him. So,
but you know what? Even let me ask both of you guys. Even JPJ, did he play much zone in Oregon? To be honest, I didn't watch him extensively. I mean, I just loved his game, but I didn't watch actually what type of blocking style they had.
I don't know. I gotta believe it's a lot of zone. I gotta believe it's a
Oregon.
lot of zone.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
because they never. Because if you look at Bucky Brooks was their running back over there, and he's more of that kind of Amir Abdullah type of third down threat. And I actually liked him. I thought we were going to pick him up and potentially replace him with Amir Abdullah, but we got Don Labe. But I think they were more zone scheme. But chat, correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I didn't watch a lot of Oregon as well. But just based on Bucky Irving, that running back style, I think that's kind of what they ran, was that zone scheme over and over.
So I mean, so at least that helps that he's coming in with, knowing the overall, the thought process behind the zone scheme. But the thing is, even Colton Miller, I mean, he played a lot of zone himself, and he's still struggling. But I know we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
So Dixon Sider says we need a running back. What do we do? Look, we're gonna go over some of Zamir White. So that's the question, right?
I ain't saying nothing.
We're gonna go over some of the plays, and it looks like maybe you guys want to. We can actually just jump into that, because we don't need to talk too much about the defensive side. The defense balled, right? Yeah. So we'll definitely we'll jump into the plays real quick. But that's the question: is it a running back problem, or is it an offensive line problem? Because I'll tell you right now, you can make an argument for both. So I think that kind of still remains to be seen. So we're going to get into the plays real quick. Let's talk about the new quarterback as I kind of make this switch over. Let's talk about the new quarterback that we're going to be facing this weekend. All right. You got the Red Rocket. He's getting the start. My question is, would we rather want to see Bryce Young or the Red Rocket? Does that make it a little more challenging going up against a guy that basically is a veteran at this point and has experience? Severe, I'll throw it to you first. Is this going to make it just that much more difficult going into this weekend's game?
Yeah, I think it does. Andy Dalton hasn't lost against us, right? I want to say he's 4-0 against the Raiders. He's a guy that's been in the league for quite a while, so really not going to be able to fool him as easily as you would be able to a young guy like Bryce Young, right? Bryce Young never played against Patrick Graham, so he's not familiar with them. Andy Dalton's he's been around, right? He had those years with the Cowboys, like obviously those years with the Bengals. Like he's been around the block, so he's not going to be as easily rattled. You know, he's mobile enough. He has a strong enough arm, and I think that he's a guy that's going to keep his composure. So the way that Bryce Young has been playing recently, I would much rather see a guy like Bryce Young, even though he does have more, more dynamism in his arm and in his legs. But just Andy Dalton's experience, I think, is going to be a huge factor in that game.
Yeah, Chris, go for it. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, so I say Andy Dalton, with the veteran presence, he'll know where to go with the ball at least. You know, he'll be able to look at the pre-snap reads, stuff like that. But what I will say is the type of pressure that we're going to give, he's going to struggle. He's not going to be able to move too much. The way that Christian Wilkins collapses that pocket. And then, we got Max coming from the outside. And he's going to struggle. He's going to struggle. His best bet is just being able to do some quick hitters. But I think in Patrick Graham's defense, we should be prepared for that. And I predict we're going to see at least one pick six at the end of the day.
Ooh, I like it. Bold
from Agent Zero, baby. Agent Zero getting that pick six, baby.
Yeah.
Making sure that JB gets out there, huh? Mm-hmm. Pick six coming your way. I love it.
Once a show, baby.
So I will say, Nozzle came out and he said we might need to start Dylan Lobb. I don't know if we're there yet. All right. I don't know if we're there yet.
He ain't been active yet.
I'm about to say
that would be a hell of a leap.
Right.
Huge leap. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, but hey, salute to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Do us a quick favor. Hit that like button wherever you're watching from. My channel, Real Talk Raider Nation. I'm 805 Raider. You got the Severe Raider. Make sure you go and check in with him. Make sure you hit those subscribe buttons, hit those like buttons, and you got Chris over the Protect the Shield podcast. Make sure you guys go over to everybody's channels, hit those subscribe buttons, just show your support. We appreciate you guys. Let's do this. Let's get into a little bit of game film. It's something that I've been wanting to do.
Let's do it.
I'm hoping I can pick out some good plays to kind of go over, but this is gonna kind of prompt a little bit of that offensive line concern that we just talked about. Okay. And so we're going to go ahead. I am going to pop this play up on the screen. So this is basically really early in the game. All right. We got Colton Miller off on the left-hand side. And this was kind of confusing because this is where we just let this left edge rusher just come free off the edge. And my question in chat, as we kind of go through this, is this, and I'll give you obviously my opinion, but is this just Colton Miller not understanding the playbook, not understanding the assignment? So we'll kind of run through this. And this is from the eagle eye, the stadium view up top. You'll see the edge rusher come off the edge. You got motion, and he just lets them clean. And this is coming off of Colton Miller. So the next view is going to be a better view. So now we see it from the end zone view. And again, you got Colton Miller coming off here. You got the linebacker showing. Linebacker's coming up. He's showing. But this is number 99. He's the one that's going to come off the edge. Now, one thing to think of or to keep in mind is that's Jacoby Myers in the backfield, right? So the first thought I have is, does Colton Miller think he's got help? Because Minshew is going to call his protection. He may slide this line to his right. You might slide this line down depending on where this pressure is coming from, but we'll go ahead and play it through. But unfortunately, that's Jacoby Myers in the running back spot. He's not going to block. You don't have Jacoby
That's exactly
Myers.
What I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I mean, look. Honestly. So two things. In this system, Andre James calls out the protections. So if Andre James sees that blitzer, he should make the call to slide protection, because like he's the guy making the call.
Colton has to say something though.
Yeah. I mean, it's like yeah. Colton's one of the leader of the team. He should say something. Yeah. And I Jacoby Myers, like they have Jacoby crack down on D ends. Like I would not mind Jacoby 1-on-1 against Trenton Simpson, who's like 220. Like I'd take that all day. If that's what you need to do, if you need to, hey, you know what? Colton Miller, you kick out, you take the DN. Jacoby, you block Trenton Simpson, and then hey, everything's blocked up. We'll see who we can go with the ball, and if nothing else, hey, we dirt it. Live to see the next play. Colton has to see that, and I think Andre has to see that.
So I think Andres Pete sees it. So if you watch 23 walk up, Andres Pete, he communicates to Andre James. And he says, hey, I got one coming, which means I think he already knows Colton Miller's going to lock up this defensive end. So these two guys, Andre James, Andres Pete, they have to communicate, work together to pick up the down lineman and blitzing linebacker.
Yeah.
Because he knows Colton Miller's got to kick out. Again, Jacoby Myers, he's going out for a pass route. He's not blocking.
Yeah.
So as soon as 23 walks up, you see Andres Pete kind of tap or reach to Andre James, communicate, say, hey, I got one coming. You see how he communicates?
Yeah.
He talks to Andre James. So I think both of them know.
Parham as well.
Yeah, Parham.
Well, I think Parham's looking for the snap because
look, go back to that view a little bit. Go back to that view a little. Now, see, look, he said something right there. Look, everybody's looking at Andre James except this fool. He's looking dead at Trenton Simpson. He's looking dead. He don't even know he there. He doesn't even know Always out there.
I know that Colton doesn't even look. He doesn't even look at him.
But you have to know someone's going to be out there. You have to.
Yeah. Look, Colton doesn't even look, and he instantly steps down.
Yeah,
and I'm just sitting there going, "Is it because you don't understand the playbook? You don't understand the protection? You think you got running back help to kind of help with that? I don't know what it is because they're rushing 4.
Even
we got 5.
Even if you have help, like you don't want to run your running back one-on-one with the defensive end,
untouched.
Like he gotta at least
give him a push.
Exactly. If he's gonna help, he gotta get, like you said, give him a push. And if he needs to get back inside, maybe it's supposed to be a short route. But even then, he has to put hands on that guy. He has to do something to disrupt that guy.
Absolutely. And that's the hard part, right? What Colton Miller should do is he does a good job. He steps down. You got to make sure that if that 23 does hit that same gap or they try to twist on him, Colton Miller's got to put his right hand out, attack the shoulder. If that down lineman, if that shoulder comes to Colton Miller, he's got to attack that shoulder with his inside hand.
Yeah.
But you still need to release off of him. You need to peel off. I'm going to say it as it goes now, right?
Yeah.
Or just shortly before.
Get back to that guy, yeah.
You got to get back to him. I mean,
but honestly, do you guys think it was a hot read? Because it looked like Gardner was just trying to look the linebacker safety off immediately, but I felt like he was going right back to Jacoby right away anyway. So
I don't
say he should know. Basically, I'm saying he should know that you don't have no help blocking right there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think it's only a hot read. If they're bringing pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 5 to block 4. They should have completely. They should have completely blocked that front. I don't think there's any question about that.
No,
I think it's Colton Miller. Does he just not understand the play, the protection? That's a big concern, and that's a veteran tackle. That's a veteran tackle that we need to be the anchor that minimizes mistakes like that. So, chat, let us know. Let me scroll through the chat real quick, see if we get any feedback on that one. Let's see. Tian Jiang. Hopefully I pronounced that right. We need to fix that O-line first. Yes, we do. So let's see. I just want to go through the chat. See if we get any feedback from you guys. Okay. So again, I appreciate everybody coming to the chat. So that's breaking down Colton Miller a little bit. And then I'm going to go to another play that it's our third down play. It was 3rd and 3 early in the game. And this is another issue with the offensive line. All right. This is 3rd and 3. Question why we have Amir Abdullah in that backfield. I think they were trying to show that we potentially could pass with Amir Abdullah, but if you're going to run up the middle, I'm not sure why Amir Abdullah is the one you're handing it off to. But it's a 3rd and 3 situation, and this is the issue.
It could have been Earl. It could have been Earl Campbell back there. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
It could have been Jerome Bettis run this rocket with this blocking. So if you guys see my cursor, you got Andre James and you got Andres Pete sitting right here. I mean, I'm going to show the sky view first. You just see how Andre James just gets beat up. And then when we go to the end zone view, you'll see how bad Andres Pete is on this play. But it's a 3rd and 3 situation. I believe we end up kicking the field goal. But on this play, watch Andre James. I mean, it just gets handled.
We see that so much, though.
Yeah, man.
In any DT or nose that has any kind of strength, that's what we see. It gets so old, man.
Was that Pierce?
It's
Was that Pierce that did him like that?
I don't know who that D tackle is.
Is that 9-2?
I think so.
Oh no.
But then,
I don't know.
But let's have a little more fun and watch Andres Pete. And again, there's not much we can.
These feet.
Yeah, there's not much we can do to kind of critique or think there's something different we could have done here. I mean, this is just ugly play, and this is the.
How was he a Pro Bowler at one point?
At guard,
seriously, at guard too. Yeah.
Yeah. So Andres Pete's the left guard, and it just there's not much you can do.
But look at.
I couldn't do that if I tried.
But look at Thayer Munford too though. That he wants some comic relief too. Like look at Thayer Munford. Look at Thayer Munford. Like, what are you doing? What the F are you doing, man?
And this is the thing, right?
These are NFL these are millionaires, y'all.
This is what with this blocking scheme with Thayer Munford, it's inside run. Yeah. You know it's inside run. So all this hopping around, I'm not sure what you're doing. You better attack this shoulder of this down tackle. And if he goes away, if he disappears, you just go straight to linebacker.
Exactly.
There's no question.
Yeah.
You know it's inside run. So you attack that near shoulder. If that shoulder comes, you latch on. If it goes away, you go straight to linebacker.
Exactly.
But he's dancing around for some reason. It's like he even stepped outside first.
Yeah.
My thing is hit somebody, even if it's the wrong person. Like hit somebody at that point.
Is the only one that seemed to do anything was I surprisingly was Parham. Parham the only one that even tried to block anybody. And
even him. I mean,
it wasn't.
That's Trenton Simpson right there, isn't it? 23.
Yeah, that's Trent Simpson.
I think so.
Yeah, so he just kind of pushed Parham out the way. He just gave him one arm, like.
I mean,
Isaiah 300-pound lineman.
Yeah, Isaiah says bullied 100%. You know, yeah, I mean, Bambino says James can't handle bigger dudes, gets owned. And look, what I will say is snapping the ball and firing out is really hard, especially on the inside on inside run like that. It's hard, but if you want to be a good center in this league, you got to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like that, those are things that you need.
That's the job. That's literally the job.
I'm going to say it's difficult, but that is the job.
Yeah, that's the job.
Myra G's pulling through. I appreciate you.
Wait, Severe Squad. Whoa. He got to come up with his own name. He got to come up with his own name. Calm down.
Severe's got a fan base. That's all I'm saying. Salute to everybody in the chat. I mean, yeah, let us know. Let us know your own perspective. Ricardo, you're saying James got blown up all game, but what are other options? I mean, we don't really have much options. That's why it's more just showing just how rough of a situation we are in. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I forget who said the comment before. It's like, what's the problem? Is it the O-line or the running backs? If our running backs have to deal with this type of O-line, we definitely in some trouble. So go for it, Chris.
I mean, just look at him right there. I mean, just look at Pete. Pete just look like he's uninterested, like he don't want to be out there. Just like, what are you?
That fool, Andre James looking very sassy, and then Munford looked like somebody on the sideline and yelling at him right now.
Oh, man.
He looked like he getting.
All right, so we're gonna take a look at this play, which is again really good work by Brock Bowers. This is the play where he goes out and works back to the sideline. All right, so I think this is just showing how much awareness this kid has and the understanding of the playbook. He understands, looking at the defense, how the defense is aligned. He doesn't see it's open, so he understands how to retract back. And so we'll go ahead and play this one through. You got Brock Bowers down here at the bottom.
I almost feel like that was a route.
I think that was a route. Yeah.
Yeah, because he did that last week. I don't even think he just broke that off. I think that's the way it was drawn up.
Well, in my opinion, I think it's basically like an option route, right?
Yeah.
He has that freedom.
Depending on what that safety does.
Yeah, if you see grass across the field, you go to grass. You know what I'm saying? And so if you see grass across the field, boy, I think what he sees, and
that safety stayed home.
The safety's there. I'm looking to see if there's any type of influence route. No, Chris, you might be right. Honestly,
it looked like it because Gardner was rolling that way anyway. I mean, like he was. I felt like he was looking that way.
Because you have no influence route coming to this side.
Look how many guys go to Devontae. Look how many guys are going. It's like three guys. Yeah, that's three guys going to Devontae. It's like, bro, like this guy is like he's not a scrub. Like he's like you gonna just like come on now. Like we just
but the thing is they have to do that though.
True.
They have to do that because if not, Devontae's going deep.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel it. So that
MEZ box, I don't have those set up. It's hard for me to pull plays, so I won't be able to get to those. So apologize. But one thing I do want to point out is look at Luke Getsy's the way he sets this thing up. Right, beautiful. We got play action coming downhill to the near sideline. It's going to suck these linebackers up. So Chris, to your point, I do think it's probably a designed route because you got Devontae that's going to hold the corner, the safety, pull those guys. Yeah, then you got this play action down here that's going to suck those linebackers up, which allows that 10 to 15 yard opening to the sideline. Because look at how this play action just influences this play all down into here. I mean, that play action holds this linebacker. This linebacker comes up, holds that linebacker. He can't get to the flats, and Brock Bowers is wide open. It's a good play design.
Yeah, hey, Roquan, he didn't care about that run. No, he was like, I wish y'all would. He said, I wish y'all would. He wasn't even worried. He went straight back. Look, he didn't care about that.
But great play.
But you know what though?
Linebackers.
That was a good route by Tay. This just they boxed him in. But I mean that's honestly the Ravens played that probably the best they could. It's either you had to pick your poison at that point.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, you got to pick your poison.
And chat real quick as we kind of go through these plays. Hit hashtag Raiders if you have something to add, whether you agree or disagree. I'm trying to go through these plays, but also look at the chat. So just let me know as we go through. Hit hashtag Raiders if you have something that you want to add or what have you. So, but Space Beast, I appreciate you rolling through. Bambino, I brought you up before. I appreciate you pulling up. We're just going through some plays. Billy Davis,
D
rolling through.
Working,
Raider Rebel. I know you always got something to say, Raider Rebel. So make sure you hit that hashtag Raiders. Give us your input as well.
Shout out to Rebel, man. Shout out to
Larry Fleming, man. I appreciate you pulling up. Next one I want to bring up is we're gonna keep the zone read. So this is an outside zone to Zeus. And again, back to the comment that we said before, is this an O-line issue or is this a running back issue? And this is where Zamir White gets the handoff. It's basically an outside zone. So Zamir White kind of has that option to, if he kind of catches that edge. And a lot of times these outside zones, it's influenced by what this edge player wants to do. All right. If he goes outside, sometimes you want to cut that thing back up. But we'll kind of go through it, but I'll run the play first. You got Zeus down here, kind of gets that outside handoff and tries to catch a little bit of light there, but obviously gets caught up.
There's a little seam there, a little seam.
I
actually like that he actually found it though.
So you have a little bit of seam there.
You almost got to go wide though. You need to go wide.
No, I mean he see two. We started talking about it in the past. You see two butts. When you see there that's where you go. And then at that point, I don't know if that's Jacoby or that's Tay.
That's Tay up there. Tay got good position. The block.
Yeah, they're blocking pretty well. So it's like you beat the safety, and
that's one-on-one. That's you and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And like I said, like I don't have much confidence in him beating the safety one-on-one, but you put yourself in position to say, hey, you know what? I get this. I put my foot in the ground. I get upfield. You know, I can get some good yardage. But as we see, Thayer Munford.
Who's that? Parham though? Is that Parham?
Nah, but Parham's doing his job. It's Thayer Munford.
That's what I'm saying. But
job.
But what as it goes on, who kind of lets their guy go? Was it Thayer
Munford?
Thayer Munford
gets
this DN comes back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he ain't get to him.
Here's the one issue that I have with Zamir, and I don't know if it's because he just isn't as comfortable in the zone run scheme, but it's almost as if once you see light, and for the chat, what I mean by that is as soon as you see that gap, now there's some distance. It's like you got to have that second gear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost as if Zamir White, in his own scheme as a running back, you have to be patient, right? You got to let it develop. I understand that. But, man, you need that second gear to just hit that hole and go. And I just feel like Zamir's he's just a little slow to it. It's tough.
He's a four. I mean, I think he hit it right. I just think Munford couldn't hold.
Yeah. Let's see this angle because it's almost like he didn't.
It's just Munford gets beat. Munford gets beat because he's coming from the other side of the field too. So he hits it.
He couldn't stay engaged with him.
Yeah, Munford gets beat. Like they got dude shed him, and then it was all she wrote.
And that's the thing is a lot of times you kind of play off on that outside zone. You kind of play off that edge. If that edge goes out, if that edge tries to extend, then this tackle, you better just ride his ass to the sideline. I mean, that's what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take him into the sideline. And then if he tries to commit inside, then you hook him and you drive him down.
Yeah.
But Thayer Munford, he just doesn't sustain that block. Right at that point, man, you just take that shoulder and take him to the sideline.
Hold on, wait, go back. Yeah, hold on, go there again. I'm trying to see what Andre James said. Yeah, was there any cutback on? That's asking too much.
Yeah, and then like I was saying, it was Trent Simpson was two gapping it. So Trent Simpson was waiting for him to try to take that backside B gap or go C gap. He was playing both gaps. You can see he kind of steps towards C and then he goes back. He goes back. Like I think that's Trent Simpson
because it's here because Roquan I think stays off a little bit. I think he actually comes down.
Yeah,
he comes down with the motion.
So he's waiting. See how he's waiting for it. He's like, cut back if you want to. I'm right here. And he's screaming down. He's like, cut back if you want to. We got you. So like that was the clearest daylight right there.
I'm with you. But here's my thing: is that once you get that handoff, you see everybody wash down. If Zamir cuts up now,
oh, you talking about? I was. That's what I was.
Everybody's washed down.
But then again,
look at him. Look. You see his eyes. Look at his eyes.
Yeah, he already coming this way. This way.
I agree, but the thing is if Zamir cuts that thing up a half a step sooner, Simpson still has his momentum kind of coming to the hole here.
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with where he went, but at the same time, that's that cutback lane though. There's a cutback lane that as a running back, you got to make the first guy miss. And that would be him making the first guy miss. Right. So,
but then you got I'm saying that's my point. Like that's one thing. Like I would always get mad at when we play. Right. Like if I got 4 to block 5, like why are we running that direction? On the other side, I got 5 to block 4. I'm going over here. So. And like I said, I think that guy was two gapping. I think they were waiting. I think they were waiting for that.
Possibly, but the only thing I'll add is you always have linebackers waiting for that cutback. Yeah, and that's him, right? He's waiting for that cutback. And the thing is, and I'll kind of go back because they do a really good job of holding that backside, the backside end, and that's what Gardner's supposed to do. Even that motion coming back. Nazo has a comment. He basically says it's going to take a couple more games to improve this offensive line. Here's the issue I have with that. We still don't even have a starting offensive line. Like Andres Pete started the game, and then all of a sudden Cody Whitehair comes in because he was benched from how poorly he played last week, and we don't even know what JPJ is going to do. So it's like, I understand it does take some games, But it takes games when you have your starting offensive line playing every single snap and they get that chemistry. We're still trying to figure that out.
And you know what else is scary is Colton Miller's the one that's been mentoring JPJ all off season.
Oh,
Like, man, Colton, you need to learn it yourself, man.
So the only thing I do like, and again, Gardner or Luke Getsy's doing it well, all right, is that I love the hesitation. You got Brock Bowers going in motion, and he hesitates at the snap in front of this DM, which freezes him, which allows a decent cutback lane. Again, Simpson could have two gapped it and made a play, but it's just a good setup to this outside zone. Brock Bowers, he hesitates, bang, and it just freezes him enough. If his hips are square to the line of scrimmage, you know that cutback lane is going to be there.
Yeah.
Again, Simpson, he's sitting there, but again, could have went both ways. You either break that defensive ends tackle or you break Simpson's tackle.
Actually,
but again, running back's got to make one.
Did Gardner kind of?
Yeah, Gardner faked him.
Gardner with that fake throw, he froze at the outside backer. So Zeus he hesitated just for a second. Zeus,
nah, that wasn't long enough. That wasn't a long enough hesitation.
Yeah, it was real quick. It was real quick.
It looked quicker. It looked like your freeze frame looked like he was gone.
I was like, okay.
Freeze frame looked like okay, never now.
Yeah, Gardner,
I'm right back on.
Froze him for a second.
Nozzle saying Zamir White's got terrible vision. It is suspect at times. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but I think on that play he made the right decision. Like last week, there was one where he definitely had a cutback and he didn't take. Where
to the left.
Yeah, where he definitely didn't take. And that one was bad.
So again, I'm just kind of scrolling through these, seeing if everybody's got. Let's see. Hey, Roll Raider Pete, I appreciate you rolling through. Hashtag Raiders would have helped the run game if we got Bowers involved playing halfback, maybe mixing some sweeps with him, even off tackle.
I don't even want that. I don't want that.
I don't know if I want him in the backfield. You could sprinkle it here and there, but I think the
passes, way not run,
exactly.
Don't run. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, like that example right there is how you help the run game with Brock Bowers going in motion. You freeze that backside DN. You hit some of these RPOs. Stuff like that that's going to hold linebackers. I definitely think that's how Brock Bowers is definitely going to help you. And at the same time, you got to get play action involved where you hit Brock Bowers kind of right behind those linebackers. It starts to help freeze those linebackers in play action because now tight ends are coming wrapping them around behind them. So, again, I'm just kind of going through. LA Raider, what's going on, brother? I appreciate you rolling through. Let's see. Again, just going through until we go to the next play. For being damn good. For being so damn big, you would think. You got to break some arm tackles with Zeus. 100%. You got to break arm tackles.
Definitely. Arm tackles.
All right, so let's go. Let's get to the next play. This one, I just love the. Or this is because we were talking about RPOs. Let's look at an RPO. Right. We'll kind of go through the play. I love the fact. The one thing I will put out there is Luke Getsy's running a lot of motion. And every play that we pull up right now, there's a lot of motion. Yes. That pre-snap motion just allows the quarterback to what defense are they running? Are they in a zone? Are they in a man? Love the pre-snap motion. But this is just kind of pointing out some RPO work, which I really like seeing.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do. Get Trey the ball, man. We got to figure out how to get him the ball more.
I agree. But this is kind of that RPO play. It gets to we get to Trey Tucker. The one thing I love about this, you got motion, you got the fake handoff, right? You got the handoff option, which if you watch at the handoff, it holds these linebackers just a little bit. If Trey Tucker would have caught this edge, and I think this is where you got to go with it, because this play action with Zeus holds these linebackers long enough to where you got the lineman releasing. We got good blocking. If Trey Tucker just catches that edge quicker, because I think he just doesn't get to the edge quick enough, man, he's gone. So I'll play it. Got Trey Tucker on the side, on top.
You know what? If he would have went to the edge right away, I think he wanted to cut back. The lineman actually got out there and actually, like, was that Pete out there? He actually looked like he did a fairly decent job.
I think that is Pete.
Yeah, I think Pete actually. Yeah, I mean, it looked like the lineman.
No,
Oh,
Colton Miller.
Never mind.
It's Colton. Yeah, it's Colton.
Yeah, Colton got out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want Trucker. I want Trey Tucker to catch this thing.
He go outside immediately.
Get out.
Go outside
he gives
immediately.
This little shake.
Yeah.
He gives this little shake inside. Now, Jacoby Myers, he kind of got the inside of his blocker. He kind of gets outside, but Trey Tucker's got that speed.
Yeah.
I mean, if he gets out first, and then you got Colton Miller, if he just holds that block just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Hamilton, one of the best safeties in the league.
It's caught.
I don't blame Colton at all for that. I think it was honestly, did James get out there a little too slow? Because the play design is a cut back.
Is that Roquan? Yeah. It's Roquan. It's Roquan out there too. Yeah. It's difficult to get that far out for those guys.
Yeah. That's asking a lot.
Like, but I love the play action. You see how long these linebackers hold. I mean, it's a good play design.
Pete pulled, so it looked like a run.
Yeah, he's getting the ball out, and these linebackers are still flat-footed. I love it. I love seeing just kind of the RPO work, and that's kind of how you help keep those linebackers honest. So, but again, I just want to bring up some RPO work. Break that tackle, man. He could have got a couple extra yards. All right, and I'm going to bring up another one. I'm just going to bring this one up because I like the play design. This is actually Devontae Adams when he comes in a deep dig route. And these are one of the hardest throws in the NFL, an in route through a small window, a tight window. But you see these two routes, you got, I believe this is DJ Turner up top. You got Jacoby Myers on the inside. These guys influence the safeties, hold the linebackers, and you got Devontae Adams on a deep end.
I think is this the play? I think I can't remember if this play or not where low-key DJ Turner was wide open. I think this might be the play.
I mean, we'll see. We got the sky view, so I don't know if it was, but
no, it's not that. It's not that. He's open. Yeah, he's open.
He's open, but not.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it with our line. You gotta get the ball out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, he Colton already in the backfield.
But I love the play design because you have basically Devontae Adams running this corner off. With this play design, you basically Gardner Minshew knows this is basically one-on-one with this corner on the outside. You got DJ Turner that's going to take the safety. You got Jacoby Myers that's going to pull Hamilton, but by crossing, he's also going to hold the linebacker, so it creates this pocket right here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So Jacoby Myers in this shallow cross a little bit or kind of mid-range cross, he just holds these linebackers long enough, and then it's a great timing throw by Gardner Minshew to hit him up top.
That was a nice throw.
Yeah,
actually, you know what? Actually, it looked like Jacoby could have been open too. And actually, if Jacoby got it, he may have. He may have went to the crib.
Might have hit his head on the goalpost.
Yeah.
And the other thing that's actually really good with this play design, and I believe this is Michael Mayer down at the bottom. You got Michael Mayer that does a drag underneath, which is going to hold Hamilton shallow, which again just opens up this mid-range. And if Hamilton, this is the best part, I'll pause it. If Hamilton actually drops to get in front of Devontae Adams' route, you potentially have this option down below.
Yeah, put that out there.
But Meyer just
he threaded that. He threaded that, man. He threaded that.
It's a great throw. It's a great timing throw. One of the hardest throws to make in the NFL is trying to find that small window with the timing throw. And so these are good plays by Minshew. You can't complain.
Love it.
Yeah.
So let's do this. I'll let you guys watch it one more time. Let's see if I see any hashtags. Anybody want to add something? I might have missed one on the back. Nozzle, you said something about.
Line held up well.
Yeah, line held well. Yeah, that safety was watching Jacoby. It wasn't until he actually saw.
So he already caught it. Yeah.
Yeah, till he saw. So yeah, I think it would have been about the same if we tried to throw it to Jacoby.
I'm with you. I bet you put some snack cakes in
relentlessly.
All right, Larry Fleming. I like it.
Oh boy, what's boy? Oh boy,
Trent Williams.
New England. Yeah, no, not Trent Williams.
Oh no, Trent Brown. Trent Brown.
Yeah,
eating them snacks.
Tearing them with some gummy worms or what? Just tearing them things up. Like, bro, you in the middle of the training camp.
Hey, real quick, because you guys touched on Trey Tucker before I get to the next play. It's Nozzle says #Raiders. What do you guys see happening that is not involving Trey Tucker more because he seems to be open often and he's shifty? The only thing I'll say is there was one play that I was going to bring up that Trey Tucker was wide open down the sideline, and Minshew on the near sideline, and Minshew dumped it off to Brock Bowers.
Yeah, that's the one I think that might be. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and it was a clean plot. It was a clean pocket. There was no pressure. And I think because when you can't trust your offensive line, you tend to just see the open receiver and take it. Now Brock Bowers caught the ball, and he had about 5 yards from a defender. So Brock Bowers had an opportunity to kind of catch and make a move. But when you just have no confidence in your offensive line, it's almost like you're going to take what you see open and just take it.
Yeah, because you got that internal clock going. Like even if someone's not on your ass, you're getting rid of it as if they are, because you don't know what your blind side is looking like.
Exactly.
So all right, let me find the next one. Let's go to honestly not a whole lot to talk about this one, but I just want to look at that touchdown. It's a great play action.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Great play action.
Great play action by Gardner Minshew.
They bit so hard on that run.
Absolutely sold it to the entire defense. Good motion in.
Good formation like that. Look at Andre James even there, man. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but Jesus, man. Look at Andre James. That's my first time just seeing it.
Bro. Come on, bro.
Come on, man.
Like he don't got no. Like he has like they cow tipping him. They out there cow tipping Andre James. Right?
They doing it for fun.
This is the hard part is you get rocked back like that when your hips break. I mean, you need to keep your shoulders over your toes. You got to have good leverage, but you can see his hips break right out the box.
Yeah,
that tackle gets his hands, fires into him, and you can see just his hips almost right at contact. His hips break right there.
Right, it's like they cow tipping him. They just cow tipping them, man. It's like when you got when you got two people and like somebody like gets under hands and knees.
Oh yeah, you push them over.
That's what it looks like. Like,
man, God, man. Yeah, that's my first time even seeing that play. Cause I just always looked at Tay and Minshew on that, but wow.
Yeah, and so.
Imagine if we did run that. It'd probably be a 2-yard loss.
Oh yeah.
They'd be yelling at Samir's trash.
All right, then what the last one we're gonna go on the offensive side, I believe. This is the last one. This is the deep ball to Brock Bowers, where Gardner Minshew buys some time, rolls out. You have Brock Bowers down here, and you kind of get that sky view to see just kind of how Brock Bowers kind of works his way back. Naza, you keep hitting with some comments, man. Andre James is falling like a chair out there. He is, man.
It's nasty.
It's tough. I mean,
terrible, man.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, so here we go. Gardner Minshew, great pocket awareness, just kind of rolls out to the right, creates some time.
There.
Yeah, man, that was
takes
a
that
great
shot
play,
and almost
man.
gets in the end zone.
Great play by Brock. Just the recognition. I want to say it was another play was it him last week or another play where he kind of worked back to the sideline as well. Like man, that's just good instincts, man. That's just a guy that's played a lot of football. Like hey, my QB's in trouble. Let me run. Let me make myself an available target. Make myself an available target to him.
Yeah,
and that's that. I think it was the play that we actually just reviewed a couple plays ago, where he works his way back to the sideline.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a design play, Chris, you pointed out. It could have been just a pure design play. Yeah. But either way, it's designed well. But for him to have that awareness to come back.
Yeah, I think Severe, the one you're talking about. Yeah, he was like literally on the other side. And I think it across field and like he was there. But yeah, that's a way to help out your quarterback.
Man, and we're gonna go over the defense too, chat real quick. So there's I think a couple of defensive plays, but definitely one I want to show about Max because man, it just shows how good Max is. But we're gonna go into the defense side in just a second. Let's take a look at the O-line play. As we go through,
good at that. There, man, he shows his arms too soon, man.
Yeah,
they just knocked that thing down. He just knocked it down.
And that's Cal Van Noy. It's not like he's like
right.
You
don't gotta show your arms that soon.
Come on.
The only thing I'll give credit to is in the second half, the offensive line improved. The offensive line got better with the pass blocking. The run blocking was still very suspect, but the pass blocking they did get better.
Look at that.
I will say, great job by just Minshew seeing Brock Bowers coming back over. I mean, to find him, to see it, it's a great job.
Yeah, it's great, great, great play by Minshew as well. Escaping, fine, like making those secondary plays, man. Those are plays that's part of the reason why he's a starter. Those are the plays that he can make. He can do that kind of stuff. He escapes.
Exactly. That's why he's on the field and the other guy isn't.
Yes.
Not to mention his leadership.
Exactly. Yeah. and then Brock, man, Brock is a load to bring down, man. He is when he gets the ball in his hands, he's a monster. He is a monster.
He is. Now let's take a look at their Mumford, because here's the thing, and that's the heart. That's one thing that whenever I watch offensive tackles, the most important thing in pass blocking is one, you got to be quick with your feet, right? You got to get your kick step in, you got your sets in to make sure that you have a good balance as soon as you make contact. But you also got to make sure your hand placement has to be key.
Yeah.
And the thing with their Mumford I see is that he punches with his outside hand. The moment you lose your outside arm and you lose leverage,
you lost.
The DN has that outside edge to get past you.
He punched way too soon too. That's just bad.
I mean, if you're gonna punch with your outside arm, you better make contact with the DN's outside shoulder. I mean, it's that simple. You got to get that DN's outside shoulder so that you can control his shoulders. But if you punch, like Chris, you said, if you punch too early, you're not going to get to that outside shoulder. You're going to allow that DN to slap that first hand down.
That's exactly what he did.
And if he's got good technique, he's going to rip right out to your outside. But if their Mumford's going to punch with his outside hand, you better get to that outside shoulder quick, or you better control that shoulder pad very quickly, because that DN's going to do exactly what he did. Slap that hand down, get that outside shoulder, and he's done.
Nasty work. Nasty.
Yeah, terrible.
Luckily, Gardner Minshew was able to make the play or see it, feel it, stepped up, escaped to the right. Great job by the interior guys to allow Gardner to kind of step up a little bit.
No,
good quarterback play. Line, like I said, 4 of the 5 linemen did pretty well. So
yeah, exactly.
Thayer is man.
That's a tough one.
It's terrible, man.
But it's great. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that is true to Space Beast talking about on that play action touchdown. That's actually the exact same formation we got stuffed on that 4th and 1 last week against the Chargers. So like it was the realistic possibility. They said you see this play, they're probably trying to run it. So that was a good call by Getsy. Running play action off of that. He is you could maybe easily say he's low-key pretty good, but he had 2 sacks. Low-key pretty good guys don't get 2 sacks a game. So like that's not what pretty good players do. That's what like Max had 2 sacks, right? That's what elite players do. Like pretty good players don't beat you for 2 sacks.
So I'm seeing the chat. I hope we aren't hearing that. People talking about Max Crosby getting traded. Raider Rebel, you're defending yourself.
It's probably our fans, man. You know how our fans are.
But it's a good lead up, because I do got the last play we're going to talk about, and the defense balled across the board. We all know it. I mean, to hold Lamar Jackson to being non-existent with his legs is most teams can't do it, and it kind of goes to show. But I'm going to bring up a play, and I bring this up because I feel like this just kind of shows how good of a player Max is on the field, but even off the field. And the reason why I say that is because the only way that you make this play is because, one, you've done your homework. You understand what they want to do. You know what they're going to do before they even do it. And for you to risk this type of play to know what could have happened is more impressive than anything. And so the reason why I bring this one up is you got Nate Hobbs down here, but right inside of him is Max Crosby. They basically kind of have a 2 tight end set, so like an unbalanced line down to the sideline, down on the wide side. And this is the play where Max Crosby basically scrapes across the tight end's face, gets inside, and tackles Derrick Henry in the backfield. So I'll play it so everybody can watch, and then I'll play the end zone view as well. I'll play it one time all the way through, and then we'll kind of go back.
Oh, that was a hell of a play.
It's a nasty play. Nasty play. But there's so many reasons why it's even nastier than just him making a play in the backfield.
And we needed it then too. Like that ignited them.
Yeah.
So the reason why I say this is so impressive, just outside the tackle for a loss, is you basically have Nate Hobbs outside to this unbalanced line to this side of the field, and then you got Jack Jones. But Max Crosby, he bets on himself right here. He bets on himself that he knows exactly what this play is going to be. And when Lamar hands this ball off, if Lamar keeps this ball, there's nothing but space out here.
Yeah.
There's nothing but space. Obviously, Hobbs is on this side, but there's nothing but space down here. And if you're going to give Lamar space to take off and run, that is a very risky bet. And then let's go to the end zone view.
And the crazy thing, Severe, and we were talking about that. I mean, all three of us, we were talking about it on the pre-show, is Max does that sometimes. He crashes too hard. And we were saying that if he did it too much, we'd be in trouble. But like you said, he bet on himself and made a hell of a play. And I love it. I don't know if something cued him off to do that, but you're right. If Lamar would have kept it, it would have got nasty.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, Josh Allen cooked this week too last year off just that very thing. Just hey, okay, I'm gonna let you crash inside, and I'm just gonna get outside, and I'm gonna have all day, and I'm gonna pick you guys apart. So week 2 last year, it didn't work out for him, but week 2 this year, it was a huge play.
No, I agree, and this is the thing is. This is in Rambo Adventures. You say Max knew the play was coming, and that's what I kind of just said in the beginning, right? He knew it was coming before the play even started. And this is just a credit to Max doing his homework, understanding what this offense is going to do, what they want to try to do in certain situations. And you just see how much uncovered offensive linemen are here. Basically, we do have a 3-on-3 concept here. You got Christian Wilkins over the guard. You got Robert Spillane. That's going to make up for whatever Max Crosby does. All right. And you obviously have Hobbs outside, but Max Crosby to crash like this just kind of goes to show just how much confidence he has in his own play, his own thought process. And it's impressive. This is what makes great players great.
Exactly. And the fact that he beat him inside like that, just
so quick, man.
So quick.
It's nasty.
It's fire.
Like you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean,
like,
it is.
I don't know what Todd Monken was doing. Is that Isaiah likely trying to block Max Crosby?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
like I don't know if you've heard of what Max Crosby does to tight ends in practice.
No chance.
Michael Mayer will tell you all about it.
It's well documented. I heard he gave Brock that work too. For of course, let Max tell it. He giving all these dudes that work. So like if you a tight end. Max takes that as disrespect. You trying to block him, so I don't know why they thought Isaiah Likely is not known for his blocking.
Oh, he's a receiving guy. Yeah. Is that a Masterson sighting?
Oh no, Masterson's got some playing time in the second quarter. I even think it was towards
I remember seeing him early.
The first quarter.
He was in the early. The very first play Masterson was in, they completed a pass on him. Third play, he got beat for another pass. I was like, get this bum out of the game immediately.
But my 2 cents, he says Hobbs has contained. I agree. In that play right there, Hobbs does have contained. But for Max Crosby to cross the tight end's face to get all the way down and make a play completely on the inside. I mean, I think the play actually was run to the opposite end of the center for him. I mean that's an inside run opposite of where Max Crosby's playing. For him to be able to make that play is just that's what makes Max Crosby so damn great. So, but I just wanted to kind of point that one out again. The defense did so damn well. But that kind of wraps up the plays that I had. I hope we can keep doing it. The last thing that I want to touch on before we get out of here, and I'll kind of go back to the big screen. Obviously, we have the Carolina game coming up, right? We already talked about Andy Dalton. That's who we're going to be facing. And the one thing I want to say, just how important this game is. You never want to look past an opponent, but we'll look at how important this game is, and just kind of get on track to get this winning streak going. And I'm going to kind of bring this back up real quick and bang. So we obviously got Cleveland this week. We already talked about Andy Dalton, how we're gonna face him, and after that game, we got Cleveland at home. And Chris, I think you coming into town, for that Cleveland game, right?
Yep.
Coming into town for that Cleveland game. Obviously, Cleveland's having their struggles, trying to find their identity. That defense is still one of the best in the league, so we got to make sure we're prepared for that. But it's definitely a winnable game. Then we got the Broncos. We want to make sure that we beat the teams we're supposed to beat, right? A lot of us can say we should have beaten the Chargers. That's a team we should have beaten, but it's here, no there. We got to learn from that. We pulled a huge win against the Ravens, but this game is going to be massive, because if we can get on a 2-game winning streak, then we got Cleveland, winnable game, Broncos, winnable game, and then just after that one, we got Pittsburgh. That's always a battle.
Oh yeah. And they travel well. It's damn near going to be an away game for. Well, I don't know if we can. I mean, they'll travel well regardless. But if we can be on what would that be, a 4-game win streak? 5-game win streak. Yeah.
At that point, yeah. But I will say, I think last year when we played against Steelers, I mean, it was nothing but.
Oh yeah, wherever they go, in
my stadium.
Wherever they go.
I mean, that was a nasty game to be in our stadium, but then they come our way again, so it's going to be a home game for them. But yeah, no, I just want to touch on that, because look, we got to beat Carolina. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and Carolina is in rough shape. Yes, Andy Dalton is a veteran quarterback that's going to present a tougher task, I think, than Bryce Young. I think if Bryce Young was at that quarterback position, we would have eaten him alive. I still think we're going to get after Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
I think we're going to eat him alive. And so, I just want to kind of bring that up a little bit again. You never want to look past an opponent, but it just kind of goes to show just how important this game is in order for us to be able to kind of get on a win streak and really turn this thing around and build off of this amazing win, this massive upset against the Ravens. And so we got over 100 in the building. I appreciate you guys coming through. Let's get some final thoughts in. All right. So final thoughts of the game, the win, even leading up to this week, maybe some of the things that we want to see, maybe some things we need to improve on, something that we have to improve on in order to take it to this Carolina team. And so, Severe, I'll kind of throw it to you first. What do you want to see this week? Whether it's the offensive line, running backs, maybe something we need to tweak a little bit on the defensive side. What do you want to see this week leading up into this Carolina game?
So for years now, the Raiders' biggest weakness hasn't necessarily been coaching, hasn't necessarily been drafting, hasn't necessarily been offensive line, defensive line, wide receiver run. The Raiders' biggest weakness has been expectations. Anytime they're in a situation where they're expected to win, they come up short. Last week, coming off a bye week, we win 2 games. We beat the New York teams. We're coming off a bye week. We play Minnesota. What happens? We lose 3-0. Then we kind of go into that Chargers game. Very little expectations. You just lost 3-0. I don't expect you that you're on a short week playing the Chargers. What happens? We blow them out. We go against Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas Day. You guys are going to get killed in Kansas City. They're going to destroy you guys. And what happens? We pull out the win. We need a win against the Colts. People expecting us to beat the Colts. What happens? We lose. So expectations has been our problem. The signs of good teams are you win the games you're supposed to win. Right? This is Chicago Bears 2.0. This is a weather vane. This is a weather vane game. This is a weather vane game. This game right here will let me know, is this team serious or are they pretending? If they win this game like they should win in your home opener against a bad team with their backup quarterback in there, with the rookie head coach, like this is going to tell the story. If we don't come out and handle our business, then my hopes for the rest of the season will be dashed.
I'm with you. I mean, you really couldn't say it much better, but Chris, what's your expectations this week, right? What do you want us to address? What do you need to improve on? What do you want to see us do to best prepare ourselves for Carolina?
I shout out to Severe for I can't even come after that. But yeah, as far as expectation goes for this game, I want to see consistency. I want to see the offensive line at least progressing, keep going in the right, build off of that second half that we saw. I know everything's not going to be perfect. I mean, our line is who they are. We're kind of banged up. They're still learning the system, but at least get better every single day, every single week, get better. As long as I see us progressing in the right way, then I'll be happy. Because eventually we got to see the running game. But I'm just going to say baby steps. Just get better on the line. If we got to continue to be a pass-first team, let's do it. Getsy, I think he called a heck of a game in the second half. I still want to see Trey Tucker be more involved, but I do expect, like Severe said, not only us winning games we're supposed to win, but win them the way they're supposed to win them the way they're supposed to win them. If you're playing a team that's terrible, beat up on them, just like teams will beat up on us when we're terrible. Like, let's put a 45 piece or 50 on a team, man, just to let them know that we're for real. That's what I want to see.
I think both you guys basically just took my expectations. What I was going to say, he's got Eli W. said perfect game to get the running game going. Yeah. I 100% agree. Leo, I appreciate you rolling through, man. And then there was another one. Jason Downs, you say dominate.
Yeah.
Simple to me,
simple as that.
AP says it all the time. It got to look right. It got to sound right. It got to smell right.
Yeah. So, and then that's my biggest thing, right? We talk about expectations. You talk about beat the teams you're supposed to beat 100%. I want to see us beat this team the way we're supposed to beat them, right? Like I want to see us come out and beat Carolina 27-10. Right. 30-10, beat them in a very convincing way to where we don't leave any question marks.
Right.
And I understand it's the NFL. It's any given Sunday. Look at what we just did. Look at what Minnesota just did to the 49ers.
Right.
It's never easy to win in the NFL. I don't care if you're the worst team or the best team. It's never easy. But at the end of the day, you have to beat the teams the way you're supposed to beat them. And that's how your locker room is going to just get fired up. That momentum in that locker room, the rapport in that locker room, these guys, I mean, if you could imagine what this locker room, yes, if you come out with a win, that's one thing. That's huge, right? But if it's a 17-10 win, you're sitting there going, yeah, we beat them. That's good. But damn, we have a lot to improve on. In the back of your mind, you're sitting there going, okay, you didn't beat them how you're supposed to because there's some things we need to correct. And you always need to improve. You always need to correct. But if you beat them the way you're supposed to, if you beat them 27-10, 30-10, you can sit there and go, what AP says, right? Smoke that shit, talk that shit, the Raider way. Exactly. That's when you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's when you can celebrate. That's when you can pop those, light those cigars and do your thing because you beat up a team the way you're supposed to, right. And so you always want to take a win. You always just celebrate a win. But at the end of the day, you need to beat a team the way you're supposed to. And so that's what I want to see. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, man, I'm stoked. Obviously coming up a win against the Ravens, upset of the year. I mean, to this point, obviously only 2 games in, but damn, you can't. it's going to be hard to get over it, but you definitely got to enjoy victory week. So
yeah,
I appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Again, guys, we're going to be doing this every Tuesday. This whole show, we broke down some film. I'm going to continue to try to bring up some film so we can kind of take a look at it, break it down. I think it's really good to kind of help show some plays, and it allows us three guys that, we've played it, we've coached it, we understand it, and it just kind of helps us kind of spread our knowledge a little bit. But I love the interaction with the chat too. I want the chat to let us know kind of what they feel, and so we want to keep doing this on Tuesdays, and then we're going to link up again later this week. We'll fully break down this Carolina game, but this was a great one to kind of come off, especially given the fact that we just got off of a 4.5 hour live, and Stu Schwaggart was able to come through and roll with us, man. I think it was awesome having a former Raider come on and just shoot the shit with us, man. You can't hate on that, and you got to give props where credit is due. And Chris, man, you were a trooper on Sunday, going to about 3 o'clock in the morning on that 4.5 live. So
yeah, Chris was semi-comatose, man.
I'm telling you, so. But again, guys, I appreciate it. Even everybody that's just rolling late in the chat, I appreciate you guys. But make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when we do go live. You got my channel, Real Talk Raider Nation. I'm 805 Raider. You got Protect the Show podcast, Chris over there. Make sure you guys go over there wherever you're watching. Hit that like button. You got Severe at The Severe Raider. Go hit up the channels. Go hit those subscribe buttons. Hit those likes wherever you're at. We appreciate you guys rolling through, and we'll see you guys on the next one. We're out.
Peace.